Now, I do want to tell you this real quick. No. It's
for fuck's sake. Welcome back to the World of Expertise. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ron.
Can we make one of those Futurama machines and just set that shit for December 17th, 7 p.m. When Jeff's Star Wars ticket is? Because that'd be really fucking appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to be a pizza delivery man, and you got to get prank called.
You'd better not fucking forget me. I don't want to wake up and it's just in time for Star Wars Episode 25. Although, that would be actually a sweet ass Netflix binge. Watch 18 Star Wars films in a row. I'd be kind of down for this, actually.
Quagmire and Family Guy coming out after he discovers internet porn. What year is it?
It's like that Angry Beaver's how long have we been awake? But that actually segues nicely into our first news story for the day, and that is the big
Angry Beavers movie.
Yes. Yes.
Long anticipated.
Angry Beavers Episode 7.
Yes.
No, actually, of course, we're going to start off with Star Wars, because that was, this entire week has been 75% Star Wars, and then 25% Back to the Future. That's been the entire week. There's been nothing else really happening. But during Monday Night Football, when no one gave a shit about football...
Which is why I missed it.
They were literally just waiting for halftime. People were bitching oh my god, will they please get off the fucking field? I just want to watch Star Wars so I can not watch football anymore.
I understood the logic that you explained to me about why it was on ESPN, but that just seemed for some reason, that seemed like an odd place to premiere the trailer.
Yeah, it was just, for people who don't know, the reasoning was because ESPN is owned by Disney, and obviously all of those ratings they get are fed right back into Disney's pocket, so... And Monday Night Football.
But I just what nerds sit around and watch football?
Well, dude, it was genius. They got all of the football fans who just had it, on for the game, and then all of the nerds who, for the first time in their life, pulled out, a football game, So it was actually, they got double all of the hits. And holy shit, did they get all the hits, dude, because, all of Twitter and all of Facebook, all of everything was people freaking the fuck out over the trailer. It crashed ticket server sites. The report I heard was as soon as the trailer launched and people started going on to immediately pre-order tickets, it crashed AMC, the Alamo Drafthouse sites, and Fandango. All went down. And
wow. That's not that surprising for Fandango.
One of the, I forget if it was ahead for AMC or Fandango, but one of them said that they had set aside 40 servers specifically for the launch of Episode 7, that trailer, because they knew that they were going to get hit hard.
And it wasn't enough.
And it wasn't enough. It still crashed. The official record they broke, and this was from one of the reps at Fandango, was their first day of ticket sales for Episode 7 did 8 times the previous record, which was one of the Hunger Games films, which is just crazy. Because Hunger Games ended up going on, I think, to having... it wasn't the record for the biggest weekend, but I think they might have had the record for biggest opening day.
Uh-huh.
So, holy shit, that means they already have the opening day record.
Yeah.
Just off, just common sense,
Oh, yeah.
So...
That movie is going to make $1 bajillion.
Which, even if the movie sucks, all I want to have happen is just... Please beat Avatar.
Yes.
I'm sick of 3D $500 billion Pocahontas. No, it's not even cool as WoW. It's Pocahontas in 3D blue people. That's basically all it is. So, but before I alienate more of our fans, because
for some reason people like
love that movie, and I'm still. What was that, 7 years ago? I still have no idea why.
Yeah, I don't know.
It blows my mind. But back to Star Wars. It's already got the opening...
Back to the important stuff.
It's already got the opening day record. And the opening, weekend record for a December film was The Hobbit, I think. I forget which one. One of the Hobbit films. And it was a pretty low bar just because it's December. It's not a summer release. But it's going to crush that one.
Oh, dude, it's going to crush everything.
I hope it...
In fact, the anticipation for this movie, I mean, it's going to be many, many years, I think, before it's beat again.
It maybe not. It'll be Episode 8. If it's good, it'll be probably Episode 8.
I don't know, because right now, the anticipation for Episode 7 is people want to wash the prequels out of their mouth. And as far as they've seen it, they haven't had a good Star Wars movie since what, 83?
People, and I just now thought of this, but it's an interesting like concept in that I think people might be more hungry for Star Wars right now because of how the prequels were taken, even more so than they were clamoring for it after not having it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Because, you know, after you haven't had a Star Wars film for 30 years, your brain, you go, you know, oh, it's dead, it's never coming back. So you can kind of move on from it. But when you know it's happening, and you, like you said, you're wanting to wash the prequels out of your mouth, I think they might be even more pumped for it now, because if it's good...
And not only that, the marketing campaign...
Yeah, it's been everywhere.
And the way JJ is known for doing his trailers and everything is just basically he has Apple-fied Star Wars. You know, the way that everything Apple creates hype for all their products. Yeah. JJ knows how to create hype.
That actually segues nicely into the next point I wanted to bring up about the trailer. In that okay, this was announced. This is the final trailer. So they've had now like 2 official theater teasers, a couple of TV spots, and this was the final like trailer.
Yes.
What I appreciate about it, I still have no idea really what the movie's about. What this trailer reminded me more of, and there's a couple of comparisons I want to make in it. It reminds me more of the first Avengers trailers, because if you remember with the Avengers trailers, all it was like glimpses of nerd porn. You went into the movie, you know, obviously we didn't know if it was going to be good because it was kind of an undertaking. No one had ever done a team-up movie before. So you didn't know if it was going to be good, but I appreciated that we didn't know what the plot was.
Yeah.
They didn't really give it away. And it reminds me of that, and the other point I wanted to make was in the same year, the type of trailer for a movie that I hold dearly, but the trailers kind of pissed me off for, was actually The Dark Knight. Because the scene that pissed me off in the Dark Knight trailer, because there was no reason to have the truck being flipped in the trailer.
Yeah.
That would have been a big, hell yeah, what the fuck just happened moment if you didn't already see it 1,200 times.
I remember seeing that, and in that scene when the truck flips on its end, hearing people gasp. I'm like, oh, you didn't see the trailer?
Yeah, it's like, one of the things that makes Avengers awesome, all the cool shit you had not seen any of.
Yeah.
Like, the closest they ever got to showing you anything was that circular pan around where they showed them all together as a team.
Yeah, where the camera's like on a track and they're standing in a circle and it's going around them.
They had, like, one of the most famous scenes, maybe the most famous scene besides the Hulk and Loki scene, was where they just pan around to them whooping ass, as the alien invasion is happening. And it's like a 5-minute cut to cut of all of them, like with Hulk and Thor on the big flying creature, Iron Man, attacking them up towards the portal and everything. None of that was in the trailer. That's what this trailer and all the teasers I felt like for Star Wars. I feel like what JJ did was like what Whedon did. He showed you like the first 2 seconds of the badass 5-minute fight. Yeah. And not the Dark Knight thing where they showed you the climactic action sequence kinda. You know what I mean? So I appreciate they showed you a little bit of, which if you haven't, everyone's seen the fucking trailer right now, especially if you're listening to us.
Yeah.
What I liked about it is every time in the trailer they showed something that could be considered spoilery even a little bit, it led to like 10 more questions. Yeah. Probably the most spoilery thing they show is that Kylo Ren is like a Darth Vader fanatic. But you know that, you don't know why, you don't know to what extent. We don't even really know if he's a full-blown Sith at this point. He could just be a fanatic. You don't really know, which is cool. We don't know anything about the 2 main characters, that aren't, Luke, Leia, and Han. We don't know really jack shit about Finn, and Rey is the girl. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of, I appreciate that he was able, with a thing like Star Wars and how much of a juggernaut it is, that he was able to JJ it and not show you the whole fucking movie like it happens so often.
JJ... anyone that can make a movie that you watch beginning to end, enjoy and love, and still don't know what the fuck it's about, JJ's good at that. Because, Cloverfield?
Yeah, you didn't even know it was a monster invasion until, a month before the movie came out.
Yeah, even then, when you watch that movie beginning to end, you're like, I don't know what happened. But it was a good movie.
Which, he didn't direct that one, but the marketing campaign, since he was an executive producer, like you're saying, was all Abrams.
Yeah, well,
style.
It was even forever until maybe in just a few weeks up to its release, every trailer ended with, untitled J.J. Abrams project or something.
Yeah.
You know, it was...
He didn't direct it, but it was kind of his baby. You could tell just from the way it was shown.
It felt like a J.J. Abrams movie, even though he didn't direct it.
Yeah.
Speaking of J.J. Abrams...
Yeah, he actually had a fantastic quote, which we are not going to get into, but I'm sure people are aware that the whole boycott Episode 7 nonsense was happening. Basically, we're not going to give any more attention to the group who did it.
Since this is an audio podcast, I'm going to tell you guys, as soon as Jeff started bringing them up, I rolled my eyes.
It's fucking ridiculous. But I love J.J. Abrams' quote as a reaction to it. He prefaced the trailer Monday night with, "I don't care if you're black, white, brown, Jawa, Wookiee, Jedi, or Sith, I just hope you like it," which that was a fantastic quote to launch with it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He seems like a really good guy, too, if you ever see him in an interview.
You kind of get the impression, usually pretty easily with directors, who's an asshole. Avatar dude, James Cameron, you can tell he's a douchebag from a mile away.
So you could smell the douchiness on him.
So yeah, JJ, it's kind of like with two of our other favorite directors, Del Toro and Joss Whedon. You can tell they're geeks who happen to direct.
Yeah.
James Cameron is not a geek who happens to direct. He's just a director.
Cameron's stuff feels like a job, more or less. Like, if you watch that first Avengers movie, you can tell how much Whedon respects and loves the material that was in that.
Yeah, he
and J.J. Abrams made a couple of Star Trek movies, but he's always, from the beginning, been on record as being a Star Wars fan. That's what the Trekkies were pissed off about.
Because those new Trek films are Star Wars films starring Star Trek characters.
Yes.
That's exactly what they are. So, which didn't bother me, because they work perfectly for me, but I am not a diehard Trekkie, so I'm not part of that audience. But, yeah, like you said, every time I hear something JJ says, he just sounds like a genuinely cool dude. Like, you remember the first time they ever showed the prosthetic effects, he was doing the charity?
Yeah.
Like, he just seems like a naturally good dude, which is, it's nice, because, you know, I would like to see...
He's not one you hear a lot of shit about from other actors and stuff that have worked with him. You don't
not hard to
hear
work
anything about him.
Yeah, you don't ever hear any Bruce Willis horror stories, you know. Yeah, not only did the fans themselves have this giant, you know, crazy reaction to the trailer, but one cool one was John Boyega, who is one of the leads. He's playing, I believe, Finn is the name of his character.
I believe so, yeah. They famously, if you've ever seen that first teaser, it was the Black Stormtrooper.
Yeah. They showed him actually... Someone who was with him as the trailer launched filmed his reaction to it, and he geeked out, like jumped behind the couch. I encouraged...
Yeah, because he waited to see it.
Yeah, it was the first time he saw it with the rest of the world, and I can only imagine, because I believe he was on record as being a big Star Wars fanboy, so to get to see yourself...
Yeah,
with a lightsaber going up against the villain on TV, that had to be, like, it was a genuine reaction. He wasn't, you know, dicking around. Like, he was geeking out, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see. There's a really cool video also, not just that someone recorded it and put it on YouTube. Someone else took it and put him in the lower corner of the trailer.
And synced it up.
Yeah, and synced it up as it plays.
I also liked how someone again put the McConaughey thing from Interstellar up with scenes from the new one. Like, whoever's idea...
old.
Yeah, whoever had that original idea to do that... Fucking genius, because that will never get old for life. Every awesome thing, you can sync that up to, and it works perfectly.
Like, I want to see that with, like, Infinity War or something also synced up. I cannot wait.
It's just a matter of time. Yeah, that was genius. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up for this portion of the Star Wars segment. So we're gonna move on to some just regular old movie news. And I brought up Del Toro, but we will actually go into a news story regarding him. And that dude, Del Toro, is a busy son of a bitch, man. Like,
yeah, he loves to work. Apparently,
he is on record this past week or so of wanting to remake Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Which, holy shit. You get, like, that... Have you ever seen Pet Sematary, the 80s one?
A long-ass time ago.
Like, it had some creepy imagery, and that was on a bullshit budget 25 whatever years ago. Like,
and it's still one of the most famous Stephen King movies.
Yeah, it's one of the best adaptations they did. Of the horror ones, you know, obviously it's not like Green Mile or anything like that, or Shawshank, but one of the best horror adaptations they've done. And if you can only imagine, if they were able to make it creepy then, what Del Toro, with a full-blown budget
I'll
effect...
never sleep again if Del Toro has a budget and, gets a hold of Pet Sematary.
I haven't read it, but Pet Sematary is one of the ones people were like having nightmares off reading it. So if you let Del Toro go crazy with some of that source material, like, dude, sign me up.
That's such an... it's not an obvious pull. I was going to say it's such an odd pull to remake Pet Sematary, but, something tells me he's had ideas about that movie for a while for him to just go off out of nowhere and say, you know what I want to do? I want to remake Pet Sematary.
Has he actually... He seems to be one of the few who goes out of his way to make original properties. Can you think of a remake Hellboy was an adaptation, but I can't actually think of a remake he's done.
I can't either.
That might actually be the first one if he ended up doing it. That might be the first one. So yeah, I would be all over that. This next story is another property that me and Ron are really, really into, and that is that if you have not seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and you like comedy even a little bit, stop the podcast right now, go rent or buy Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Just buy it.
And then just fucking...
Get the 2-disc edition, because you will want the Lego scene that's in the second disc.
Or you could actually wait and then get... this special Blu-ray collector's edition coming up that this news story that you're referring to.
No, you can never have too many copies of Holy Grail.
This is true. Yeah, just buy both.
Yeah.
I think in one of the most recent editions they did of the re-release of it, had this, and then they're for sure having it in the new one. But apparently Terry Gilliam, who's one of the... I didn't know this. He was actually the only American member of Monty Python. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
He has released a new thing where he's going to be commentating 14 minutes of extra Monty Python and the Holy Grail animated sequences, which
are famous.
Which, if you have seen it, you are fully aware, because they're some of the most popular and beloved scenes in the movie, and they were just little...
There have been other movies that have imitated that kind of animation style, and the way that they used it mainly to go between scenes, right?
Yeah, it was like transitional sequences.
Transitional, that's the word I was looking for.
But yeah, they're hilarious. So any more of that, any more Monty Python, is fantastic. This is one I don't typically go out of
taste,
and there was much rejoicing.
Yes, that's probably the most famous one of the cartoons. Yeah, definitely check that out. That's actually, I rarely buy Blu-rays or DVDs. This is one I would buy. I love me some Monty Python.
I want to watch that again. We should pause for a moment and go watch it. And
we'll be back. Now that we're back. We are actually moving over into the comic book section of the news, and first up is a little bit of Gambit headlines, and that is that, did you know Channing Tatum is actually one of the exec producers of Gambit?
No, I did not.
That's also a good sign. We've talked about it multiple times, it seems that Channing Tatum is
genuinely interested.
So if he's producing it, he's into it, because he's actually helping.
Because there's been pictures of him holding comic books in his bedroom.
Yeah, he's going all out.
Yeah. He's not going as far as Jared Leto, but that's kind of what it reminds me of.
So he hasn't shaved his eyebrows yet?
He hasn't shaved his eyebrows
He's not,
yet.
Dude, you're not fucking dedicated until you shave your eyebrows. That's the golden standard now.
Yeah.
But he's with the other producers actually seeking out Doug Liman to direct it. And if you're not familiar with Doug Liman, he directed the first Bourne film, he directed Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and most recently he directed Edge of Tomorrow.
So all of that will tell you the tone of the Gambit movie that they're going for if they're seeking him.
Which, he's one of those... Have you seen this?
Because that sounds like a good fit. Those, the way that
especially,
those movies were done with Gambit.
And what made me think that this would be a really, really good choice is that Edge of Tomorrow, I don't think you ever saw it, but it was an adaptation of an anime. And I really, really liked the movie he made, and it felt anime, but he made it work as a film.
Right.
If you can adapt anime, comic books are walk in the fucking park.
Yeah, I was going to say, the guy's already done it, basically, more or less.
In a harder fashion.
And everything that you listed there that he's directed are high-octane action sequences.
Yeah.
So he knows how to film them, because every one of those movies have been successful.
And Edge of Tomorrow also had comedic elements in it. Same with, I haven't seen, was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I got the impression they had some light humor in it, spread throughout a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
So kind of lighten it up. Yeah. I think that'd be a great fit. Dude's made a lot of good movies that I like.
And he knows how to film action,
which
is a rare thing in Hollywood.
Knows how to film action, and from what we've seen so far, it looks like Channing Tatum knows the character, so he knows better than I do, because he's actually more into the character than I am, even as a comic fan. So this is good news. So hopefully they're able to lock him down. We had some other Marvel news, and that is that Hugh Jackman revealed his favorite Wolverine moment.
I saw you put that in the notes, and I did not seek it out. I wanted to hear it first here.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
Take a guess of what you think his favorite Wolverine moment is.
First Class?
The cameo, that was his answer.
That's my favorite.
That's in the way he explained it was beautiful too, because he was like, that scene, if you haven't seen X-Men First Class, it's awesome.
God.
Go watch it. His cameo, one of the best cameos of all time, is in that film. Maybe
think that's
my
the top. That and Chris Evans are probably at the top of my list.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The other one that I love is Bill Murray in Zombieland.
Yes,
it's a beautiful,
that's
beautiful
a good one
cameo.
too. I forgot about that one.
But the moment. I won't spoil it just in case for whatever reason you haven't seen it, because it's such a good cameo. But he said in that 15-second cameo tells you all you need to know about Wolverine. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. So, and when I read that article, I was like, dude, I need to watch fucking First Class again. That's a good movie.
For those of you that have not seen First Class, go watch it, and just know that when you get to that cameo, when I saw it in theaters, people fucking cheered.
Yeah, it's gold.
It is
pure
literally gold.
It's a good movie made even better by that 15-second scene. It's so good. We've got some more Marvel news to hit up, and this is actually MCU related. Mark Ruffalo will officially be the Hulk in Thor 3.
There had been rumors.
Goddamn time.
There had been rumors before, and a lot of people thought, it was hit or miss if it was real. And then it was finally confirmed, because the hardest fucking thing that they have been trying to do is figure out how to make a sequel to the Hulk movie, A, with Ruffalo, and B, it not be the first Hulk movie.
And their biggest stumbling block, and I kind of get it, because it's kind of one of those things where I like the Norton Hulk movie, but after you do that, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can honestly do with the Hulk, and that is why the best Hulk movie is the first Avengers, because he's a supporting character, basically.
Yes.
He works better in small doses than he does as the leading character.
And he does, I wouldn't say that he works better in small doses. I think he works better with someone else on screen with him.
Yeah.
Like all those scenes, like between him and Loki, him and Thor, him and other Asgardians, I guess. I don't know. It seems like everything is him and Asgardians. But even the first Avengers, when he is chasing Black Widow.
Yeah.
It seems to highlight the Hulk better when he has someone else on screen to play with.
And I thought, considering how hard it is to do, I thought they did a damn good job with the Norton one. Yeah. A lot of people don't like that movie for some reason. I liked it. I
really liked it.
I think its problem was it happened right after Iron Man.
Yes.
If it had come out,
the first one?
If it had been the first one, I think the whole, because that would have been your lead in to the MCU, and I think it might have been more well received, because nothing was going to be as good as Iron Man.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, having to live up.
I don't even think they understood what they had with Iron Man. I don't even think Favreau knew what he had with Iron Man.
They really didn't, because, they didn't even want Robert Downey. It was all Feige and Favreau who fought hard to get him in the movie. So they probably honestly thought...
Could you imagine the MCU with no Robert Downey? There is no
MCU. It wouldn't be the juggernaut it is without him. What's crazy though is when you think about it, they probably thought that, that's that D-list Iron Man with with Robert Downey. Hulk's gonna be the one that hits it for us. They probably genuinely thought that.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man is one of the most beloved comic book movies of all time.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, you have to go watch the Hulk movie. So I kind of feel bad for them now thinking about it, because they had to live up to Big Brother almost.
Yeah.
And it was a no-win scenario.
I thought Edward Norton, was a pretty good contrast to the Hulk. He's a tall, skinny guy.
Great actor.
He's a fantastic
one of the best
actor
in Hollywood, so they had a good
and his line delivery, especially with the, me stuck in a metal tube with other people underground, talking about the subway system in New York, his line delivery and everything was fantastic.
And I really like Tim Roth as the Abomination.
Yes.
I love that scene where he isn't the Abomination yet, and he just walks up regular old army dude with a pistol to the Hulk.
Yes.
That's a badass scene, even though he's the villain. Like, it was a cool moment.
Well, I think that was like the scene on the school campus. Or
yeah,
something, right?
at the college.
Yeah.
More Hulk, but being able to use him the way they like to is genius.
Yeah.
And this actually ties into where they can do some, like, probably the most famous Hulk storylines happen, where he's off-world, and he's not on Asgard, but it's known as World War Hulk. If you haven't seen the animated movie, it's actually... DC has whooped Marvel's ass on the animated film aspects, but that's actually a pretty good one that if you haven't seen, I recommend.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen it advertised.
Yeah, it was World War Hulk and Planet Hulk. They tied in together. Those are some of the most famous Hulk comic storylines, so they can pull some from that. And, more Hulk. More Ruffalo Hulk. I really, really like Ruffalo Hulk.
Yeah, I do too.
Which was, when I went in to see the Avengers, my thing that gave me faith in it, that it might work, was Whedon, but I had never thought I would like Ruffalo Hulk.
I thought it was a weird pick, but after everything else that I'd seen, I was like, well, Feige and Whedon. I mean, they haven't really let me down yet.
Even a little bit.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I really like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. It's probably been the first time they've been able to, in anything like that big of a franchise, change actors midway, and it worked for me. Like, I don't dislike Don Cheadle as an actor, but I really miss Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
As Rhodey.
Terrence Howard fit that role really well.
We've actually seen like 4 times as much Don Cheadle as that character, but Terrence Howard is still Rhodey to me.
Well, one thing Don Cheadle is going against him is Terrence Howard had the role first.
Yeah.
So you're automatically like, fuck you, Don Cheadle, give me Terrence Howard.
But I was fuck you, Mark Ruffalo, and then they won me over, and they haven't been able to do that with Don Cheadle.
I heard about the Terrence Howard thing, though, he was kind of a dick about getting paid.
He was totally a dick, but just in the microcosm of the films, without talking about business... Like, Terrence Howard, I thought was Don Cheadle's a fantastic actor, but he's not Rhodey to me, and he's still not, and it kind of makes me sad that
he was very Don Cheadle in the role, you know what I mean?
And, him and Robert Downey have good chemistry, but in the first Iron Man, Terrence Howard and Robert Downey Jr. were awesome together, and they have never been able to fully recapture that. But yeah, I'm excited for this. We are one of the few who actually really liked both Thor movies. Especially the second one. It has its problems, but it gets shit on a lot as far as, relatively speaking, about Thor. So this is actually a good way to get more positive response towards it, because everyone has loved
and
Mark
Ruffalo's
Hulk. Yeah, more Ruffalo Hulk. Finally. Didn't they go the whole phase 2?
And more Loki.
More Loki, for sure.
Yeah, all phase 2 there was no Hulk.
It's like, what the fuck, man?
Well, I guess
Age
of Ultron.
They made it up for in Avengers 2, but they didn't ever use Hawkeye again, really. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was just...
That's why... Hawkeye gets shit on a lot too. I really like Hawkeye. I didn't like him before
Avengers 2.
Yeah, before Avengers.
Before Avengers. Yeah.
But the way that he was portrayed, and Jeremy Renner in that role.
Oh, I love Jeremy Renner.
He was born for that
awesome.
role. And people shit on that character. Even Kevin Smith shits on that character. And I don't get it. I love Hawkeye.
Avengers 2, in my opinion, he's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
He has some of the best lines. He has... I get that they kind of derail the movie a little bit, but that movie's whole issue is that it derails itself every 5 minutes. That's not Hawkeye's fault.
But there had been rumors swirling around, and the internet imploded against it, and then the rumors ceased. So I don't know if it was testing the waters kind of thing or not, just to see what fan reaction would be to the rumor or who started it. But the idea of a Black Widow movie, I was like, you can't make that movie without Hawkeye.
Oh, I would love a Black Widow Hawkeye movie, dude. I'd be all over that.
There is no way you can do her backstory without Hawkeye. And a movie that would basically be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the movie. I mean...
Dude, take my fucking money right now.
Yeah,
I know. Watch the shit
love
out of
that. Maybe we can find out what the hell happened in Budapest, or where was the...
Budapest.
Budapest, yeah.
You and I remember Budapest very differently. That's the line. Yeah.
Give me... that's been in everything now, that line. Tell me what the hell happened in Budapest.
More Black Widow, more Hawkeye, more Ruffalo Hulk. And He wasn't the Hulk, but there was the Iron Man 3 post credits where he was.
Yes.
They had a really good cameo with that.
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah, but yeah, we spent way too much time than we intended to on this, so we're gonna move on. We've got one more bit of superhero TV or movie news, and that is that Rosario Dawson has been cast as Batgirl in the Lego Batman movie, which is
that who I'm thinking it is?
Rosario Dawson. What have you seen her in?
You know what?
I totally blanked on her entire movie career, but once you see her face, I
have a face in my mind.
Oh, Daredevil. She's who always patches him up.
Okay.
That's that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
My brain immediately thinks of Clerks 2, but you haven't seen Clerks 2.
Nope.
But we will fix that eventually.
But yeah, no, that's who. That's what I was thinking. I always thought that the girl CW has for Hot Girl looks a lot like her.
I could see that.
So and then after I thought that, I was like, "Oh, dude, they should totally do that in the DCCU."
But
I think she'd be good at it.
Yeah, Dawson's going to be playing Batgirl in the Lego Batman movie.
I can see that. She can be funny, dude.
She's a very good actress, and they already have my ass in the seat because they got Will Arnett back.
Yes.
And other than Kevin Conroy, Will Arnett in that one Lego movie Batman role might be my favorite Batman. Like, his lines are gold and his delivery is gold.
Yeah.
In that it's like, I will text you.
I only work in black and sometimes very, very dark gray.
And the song I adore. I need to make the song my ringtone. It's like dead parents, super rich. I love that.
Kinda makes it better.
So good. If you haven't seen the Lego movie,
he took that role so serious when he recorded those lines, and he says nothing serious the whole movie.
What it's kind of like is he kind of did Adam West in Bale voice when you think about it. It's like, it's like the actor's showing himself as being serious, but the delivery and the lines are funny, and it worked beautifully. And if you haven't seen the Lego movie, like it's a really good movie, but holy crap, I cannot wait for Lego Batman, dude. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be a fantastic
cannot
movie.
wait. Got a little bit more Batman news this time.
Fuck this.
This time over in TV. We're gonna move over to TV.
Fuck this.
So Ron's favorite show is Gotham. If you didn't know that, he's obsessed with it. He watches it every week.
Fuck this.
So Gotham in season 2, they are going to be showing Azrael. My question is, they have burned through in the season and like 6 episodes, whatever they're on, so many Batman characters and done it all poorly. What are they going to have left come like season 4?
They even took a stab at Joker, dude. Okay. You can't bring in fucking Batman villains when Batman is 8 years old, 30 years from, or 20 years from now. It doesn't work.
The whole point.
He's like,
in
what,
Batman,
33 when he's Batman?
What kills me? Well, he comes back in his late 20s. He's been gone for like 10 years. That's usually the kind of continuity. He's been 8 to 10 years as his training usually.
So, I mean, but close to 30.
The whole point, and they just burned it into your brain in the Nolan movies.
Yeah.
The point of the villains in Gotham, other than your Maronis and the Falcones, the crime bosses, they were there. That's what he comes back to stop.
A taste for the theatrical.
But what happens is that, and they burn it into your fucking skull, which I don't understand how they're messing this up in Gotham, but when he comes back, he unlevels the playing field. The supervillains are a reaction to Batman upping the stakes in the city. Like, it makes no sense.
You know how many other villains they can use? Like, one of them that pops in my mind would be, like, I forget his name before he becomes Black Mask, but a younger Black Mask coming
Sionis.
up. Yeah.
That happened in season 1. He got 1 episode.
Like,
they are burning through everyone.
There's so many crime boss villains that he has that you can
make a whole season.
You can do a whole season with one of them as the villain.
That's what I don't get. What they're doing with the show has, first of all, no longevity, because like we were just talking about, if you were doing it correctly, you could turn Black Mask Sionis into at least half of a season, if not more.
Yeah.
And they did him as a one-off villain of the week thing. They did a Scarecrow type story, which was actually kind of interesting, where the Scarecrow we know, I don't think you got that far, did you?
No.
The Scarecrow...
That pisses me off because Crane is either the same age or younger than Batman, and that just pisses me off.
What they did, though, what I found kind of interesting with Scarecrow, but they ended up kind of fucking it up because it was a 2-episode plot line. With
They fucked up that whole show.
Oh, that's true. But they had a chance to make it interesting with Scarecrow in that they actually had a couple episodes where Jonathan Crane was the son, but the Scarecrow who was going around making the Venom toxin was actually his dad. And that was actually kind of an interesting little take that I think they could have actually, made a little arc around. But like everyone else, and what they did with Black Mask, what they ended up doing with the Joker, they make these characters who should be, with good writing, at least half of a season, and they're burning through them in like episode by episode.
What pisses me off too is how they're all shoehorned in. Like, there's no need to have Nigma working at the goddamn police station.
There's no need to have a Poison Ivy be a random girl who they happen to run across who's friends with Catwoman. Yeah, they're all too interconnected. And I was talking to one of my buddies who's also into Batman, and the way that I described it, he said, kind of explained their approach. And that is that when you watch The Dark Knight and Begins movies. Notice I didn't bring up Rises. When you watch,
but you just did. Goddamn.
When you watch Batman Begins and Dark Knight, the approach that they took gives off the assumption that they know what they're doing and they know the material. When you watch Gotham, what it feels like is their exposure to Batman as a writing staff is going to Wikipedia and looking up the history of Batman.
Not only that, the decisions they make, I feel like you immediately hear the cha-ching sound effect.
They're approaching
like,
it.
What is his most popular? What is his most popular villains that sell? And then they shoehorn them in.
They shoehorn them in, and what they don't understand too is that,
because dude, in the stuff that I had seen, like trailer wise and stuff, the Joker guy was already like 30. I'm like, Bruce Wayne is 8. Okay,
well,
in 20 years, really?
He looked. I believe they were going for like about an early 20-something. But yeah, you're right. Their Joker is. It doesn't.
He's in his 40s now.
It doesn't work. But what's interesting about it is that it's like every 5 minutes there's a new MCU movie. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has already what came on before Gotham and was rocky at the start, but like season 2 had cleverly used cameos.
Yes.
Daredevil has really, really cleverly used cameos. And I didn't understand how they don't understand the concept of you can't throw Edward Nygma randomly working as a crime scene dude and make that please fans.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just throw them on screen. They have to have character use that will appease the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we've spent like 20 minutes ranting about Gotham. But
oh, dude, that's a whole show.
We need to do a rant tracks on the first episode of Gotham. That'd be a good one.
Dude,
that'd
I would love to do a rant track.
Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Precisely. So yeah, we need to move on though. This is a show I actually like, so we won't be ranting as much about this one. Venture Brothers is returning for season 6. Fuck yeah!
Why didn't we look up this trailer? I still haven't seen this trailer yet.
Well, aren't you a few seasons behind? Like, there's actually some stuff you can kind of get spoiled on.
I'm not too worried about spoilers for Venture Brothers, Jeff.
Well, that's true too. But yeah, you're right. We should have watched the trailer. But it doesn't matter. Venture Brothers has never not been amazing. It's going to be good.
Why is that not an animated movie yet?
But didn't I do a whole casting of that at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go back and figure out who the fuck I picked because I've already forgotten all of it.
I think that was casting live action, though.
No, the one I do remember, Paul Giamatti as the Monarch would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah. It's coming back for season 6. I don't remember if they announced a release date for it, but I believe it is 2016. So yeah, we'll see it sometime next year. But this is another show we like, but it is not coming back. It is sadly going away, and I think you want to play something.
Disappointed!
I'll let you take this one away because this is more up your alley than mine.
Unfortunately, the myth that the Mythbusters is being canceled has been confirmed.
Womp womp.
Mythbusters, I believe, if I read correctly, they're getting to run their entire season.
Yes, that's what I heard too.
But the next season that ends in 2016 is their final season.
Which was either 14 or 15, I think was going to be their
15.
last. Okay.
It'll be season 15. Which, that means they've been on, 15 to 16 years? And that means that kids that were born on their episode 1 are now driving.
It's crazy. Beautiful. If I were in charge of that show, I wouldn't know what to do at like episode 7, let alone 15 seasons worth. Like they did a great job.
They did
that.
a fantastic job with that show, and Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman, like they if you watch that show long enough, they change the way you think about things. You know, and they have been an inspiration for many, many, many children.
Getting a lot of kids interested in science in general, which is very important.
Which President Obama brought them to the White House, and they filmed it for Mythbusters of him shaking their hand. And because Obama had, I think it was in his first term, had the initiative of trying to get children interested in science and math.
It's like you know what it is. It's kind of like how this generation. It's like they're Bill Nye. That's like the closest exposure they have to science in general.
That's pretty accurate because I grew up with Beekman's World and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, President Obama thanked them for that and everything, and then he had a myth that they wanted to test, and they had a bunch of students from some school working with them on it and everything, and I mean, I don't know, it's just, I can't imagine a world without Mythbusters.
It makes me sad.
It's going to be a dark place.
It makes me very sad because it's not a show I've ever watched a whole lot of, but I like it from what I've seen. And and the fact that I don't.
You still need to see the Breaking Bad stuff.
I love their tie-ins with movies and shows. I love
they're movie guys. They're special effects movie guys.
Yeah.
That's what they did for a living.
My favorite one I've seen is
they still do.
My favorite one I've seen is the one where they did the obstacle course for Doom, where they did the live-action video game. That was a very cool one. Yeah, I need to go back at some point. It's all on Netflix, isn't it? I could like even burn
they've
through
got
that
a bunch of them on Netflix. The robot that Craig Ferguson would talk to,
Jeffrey.
Grant Imahara built that.
Really?
Yep. Grant Imahara, they knew him from BattleBots. That's when they pulled him in after. God, what the fuck is her name? Scotty. After she quit, they pulled in Grant Imahara to replace her.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's a show I've always liked. Everything I've seen, it's just haven't gotten around to watching.
They've all worked
much.
on different Star Wars movies. I
remember hearing about that.
They've all worked on all kinds of stuff. So yeah, dude, and they know their shit.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Mythbusters.
One last thing before we move on, I found out listening to Adam Savage's podcast that they are the reason why, I forget what it's called now, but there was BattleBots and then it went away and now it's back. It has a different name. But it has walls that go to the ceiling. Mm-hmm. They're the reason the walls go to the ceiling. Apparently, they used to compete in BattleBots. And they built a robot that was so fucking mean that it actually threw pieces of the robot they killed up over the wall and into the stands. And they were disqualified for that reason.
That is so metal, dude.
They are the only competitors to have ever been disqualified because their BattleBot was too ferocious.
Good. That's awesome,
yeah.
Dude. That is awesome. But yeah, rest in peace, Mythbusters. So you said are they in the middle of season 14 right now? Was that what's happening?
Yes, I believe so.
So you have a season and a half left to enjoy Mythbusters.
You know, in the article that I read, there was a pretty cool quote from, it just said from them and then from he said. So it didn't say which one. It sounded like to me like something Adam Savage would say. But he was talking about how he is really happy that they get to do the full season because his worst fear has always been that it just gets cut.
It gets cut. Yeah, they want to actually go out. I'm sure. Yeah.
So, and he said now they know they can pull out all the stops on that final season.
For anyone who isn't aware, though, I don't know what it's called, but I know you listen to it. They do have a podcast that at least Adam Savage is a part of.
Adam Savage does with two other dudes that you'll never remember their name because I don't.
So if you are a fan and you weren't aware of that, and once it's over, you want more of at least Adam Savage, he will probably be continuing his podcast.
And I'm sure they're both, even if it's separately, we'll have other shows.
I would imagine they would separate, and maybe even go into a different channel, but have something.
Well, especially considering there's an episode of Mythbusters that Adam Savage they don't even like each other, him and Jamie. So.
Yeah, they just kind of. It's successful, so they're there as like basically.
They can read each other's minds and they work well together, but they don't like each other personally.
Yeah.
But which made me sad. But it's still untitled, the Adam Savage Project, and Norm and some other guy. But Adam Savage is the biggest name on there, and it's cool because he he talks about, he talks a little bit about like when they film something on Mythbusters, like after an episode happens, they're like, okay, now we can ask you about this, and stuff like that. And he talks a little bit about that, but he talks about a lot of stuff he builds and stuff. He's obsessed with building astronaut spacesuits and replicas of them, and he wears them to conventions and stuff. And right now, his obsession is the suit from The Martian.
Oh, yeah.
They've done 2 or 3 podcasts on the book The Martian, and Evan Savage interviewed Andy Weir, which go check that out. That was a cool interview. And then they did, I think, 2 podcasts now on the movie.
Okay.
They are obsessed with The Martian because of the science in it.
Well, yeah, The Martian is Adam Savage and Mythbuster crack.
Yeah.
Because the book, as it was being made, got myth-busted over and over and again until it got fine-tuned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I can imagine they would be all over that.
So, yeah, definitely, especially you, Jeff. Go check out the Andy Weir
I definitely will. Martian, one of my all-time favorite novels, as we've gone into multiple times. But we've had... Well, speaking of outer space, we've going back into fucking Star Wars. Is everything this week is Star Wars. And that
why
is
not?
that is going all the way back. And man, I swear we've talked about Battlefront like every week the past like 3 months. That's what it feels like.
That's okay.
Yeah, you don't want to play it. I want to play it. Jeff is a Star Wars junkie, and
it's a very beautiful game.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks really good.
So I'm sure you're aware if you are familiar with Battlefront at all, but they have a couple of, I think now it's like Luke and Vader might be the only ones currently as they're called icons.
Did you see the video of Luke getting crushed by that?
I was going to show you that as a way to sell you into playing the game. Because I was like, that is beautiful, dude.
That was trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing in the movies that would never happen.
So, currently in the beta, they had Darth Vader and Luke as they're called icon characters. Is basically super overpowered characters who, the whole point of it is it's going to take like 10 regular dudes just to take down.
Right.
So, the first ones were Vader and Luke. They have added now Leia, Han Solo, and the Emperor.
What do you think they're doing with Leia?
I looked at their roles. Leia is like more of a support role. Basically, she buffs everyone around her into being like, like how you have X amount of damage of your regular dude.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like if you're around Leia, you get like double damage, and it actually changes you cosmetically. You look like they called them. What's the planet? Alderaan. They're like royal guard from there. They actually change your appearance. It would be kind of cool. You see like a little like squad of Leia bros running around. It'd be kind of cool. Han Solo's was all about damage, and he had I forget what it was called, but he has kind of like a charge attack. And the Emperor's was all lightning. And they said they even gave him chain lightning, where you can go up to like a group of like 5 dudes. Dude, you go up against 5 rebel dudes and just chain lightning all of them. Like, I'm geeking out right now.
I hope he does the Emperor laugh.
Yeah, dude.
Is it the same dude? What's his name? Do you think he voices any of the laughs or anything?
All that dude has ever done is the Emperor, including the prequels. So I'm sure he's back for it. What the fuck else is that guy going to do, right? So I
remember them talking to him in an interview, and he said the thing that was better about the prequels is that the makeup was easier because he was so much older. They didn't have to do as much.
That's true. They've also, I think, at one point teased. I know for a fact they teased Slave 1 as one of the vehicles, but people believe Boba Fett might be the last one of these icon characters added. He might have already been added. I haven't been as into the loop as I probably should be because I don't like to actually pay attention to betas that much. I like to get the full experience when it's done. So Boba Fett might have already been announced at some point. I might have missed it. So someone, if you're still listening, might correct me on that. But Battlefront also announced that their season pass will be $50. To which I say, "Fuck you!" Because the $40 Arkham Knight DLC went over so well. Let's make it even more expensive. Yeah, I will be buying Battlefront. Fuck that, dude.
I don't know,
though.
Fuck
that.
The Arkham Knight $40 one may be worth it pretty soon. You see the Batman versus Superman?
Yeah, that looked cool.
And Batmobile skin.
And they had like 1 or 2 more story things.
Way to spoil the fucking Batmobile for the movie, by the way.
Well, they showed images of it before.
I know, but they didn't show you anything that can do.
That's true. So it's actually going to be like... It wasn't just a cosmetic change?
No, it's a cosmetic change, but you and I have already theorized that Batmobile is already what it's going to do in the movie.
Yeah,
now you'll get to see it in action.
But fuck that, dude. The video game industry.
I mean, that's almost the same price as the fucking game.
Yeah. The only way basically from now on, the only way I will play a DLC is if it's from CD Projekt Red, the Witcher guys. Their most recent DLC, 10-hour story content, $10 freaking.
Yeah.
That is the model to follow. Not Arkham Knights 2. I didn't even buy the Arkham Knights.
That wasn't their DLC, dude. That was their expansion. Their DLC is free.
Yeah.
Their DLC is always free.
Yeah. Fuck all of them.
That was their expansion.
Fuck everyone in the video game industry not named CD Projekt Red, because they're all douchebags when it comes to season passes.
Because even Blizzard's $40 for their expansions.
Yeah. Which you can justify that more than the Arkham ones.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the story things for Arkham Knight were 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
I was
pissed when I beat Harley Quinn that quick.
Yeah, and they were even shorter than that for the new one. Yeah, it's
and
fucking
Batgirl
stupid.
looks so good, too.
Yeah, we just brought up Blizzard. That segues to our next story, and that is that Blizzard announced
Fuck this, too.
We are so positive. Blizzard announced the beta release, at least the first beta release for Overwatch, otherwise known as
Blizzard Pixar.
It's Team. What is it? Team Fortress with a Pixar skin. That's all that fucking game is. I don't care.
I never thought the day would come when I'd say fuck a Blizzard project.
Yeah. First of all, how have they not been sued? Because it is Pixar. To a T.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Pixar movie the first time I saw it. I thought they teamed up with Pixar. They didn't. They just ripped off all of their models. But
all their animation
First
style.
of all, I like the Pixar animation style when it's a Pixar film.
It looks like a better version of Destiny, though. It looks like what Destiny should have been gameplay-wise.
I've taken shits that look better than Destiny did. Quick segue real quick to Destiny. People are freaking out and saying, oh my god, Destiny's awesome now, because they charged you $60 a year after it came out for a fixed version of the game. That is not cool. That is unfucking acceptable.
Wait, what?
You didn't know this?
They charged again? What?
The Taken King was sold as a brand new game, basically. Where they had removed Dinklage and replaced it with Noah North, and they redesigned everything. That was sold again.
I thought that was an update.
I think they sold that again.
Fuck.
Yeah.
$120 to get the game you should have had the first time?
Exactly. And people were saying, oh, it's so cool now. That is unacceptable.
That is not cool. Don't give them props.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
No.
That should have been what you got the fucking year before. Assholes. But we got so off topic. I know, seriously, that pissed me off. I might be wrong. That might have been cheaper. I believe it was sold for something, though, Taken King, because it had their DLC and shit with it, too.
I thought that was like an update. I didn't think that was...
We will fact check this after the pod and update later if I was wrong or not, but that's what I believe what happened. But, yeah, we are going to move on to the next... are you actually going to look it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. I will... Okay, let's see. Actually, if you just go to... You might have to go to, like, Amazon to find where it's being sold.
Because I thought that...
Yeah, dude, Taken King Amazon, I bet we can find a price point. If it's still $59.99, I'm sure. Because I wanted to say it was, Legendary Edition. That was a new thing to buy.
Oh, fuck that. Wait.
Fuck you, Bungie. We are pulling it up now. Buy new... It looks like it's got done a little bit. That's also Amazon pricing, but yeah. That was a new thing. It had DLC in their defense, but the shit should not have been full price in order just to get a completed version of Destiny. That was stupid. And now we're checking Best Buy. Yeah, 50. So it wasn't a full, but it was 50.
Yeah,
fuck you.
That.
Fuck you, Destiny.
No.
It should have been a patch to fix your shitty game.
I thought it was a patch.
No.
I thought it was a patch or like a $5 or $10 DLC. I did not know that they sold it as a new game.
I didn't even buy their new one. I was insulted that they
I'm sorry, $50. They sold it as a game that's been out for a year.
Yeah.
Fuck
you, Bungie.
I may boycott Bungie after that.
Speaking of a douchebag gaming company, we cannot have a podcast, or at least a couple podcasts, go by without bitching about Konami, because that is like my favorite thing to do now.
We need a Konami's drop.
We do. But, as the internet is well aware, Silent Hills, which was like the first horror game to actually get my attention, made me excited, in like fucking ever, got canceled because the Nazis are a bunch of douchebags and got rid of Norman Reedus, Hideo Kojima, and Guillermo Del Toro.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Seriously.
That's a license to print money. That is a lot. That's 3 licenses to print money.
Norman Reedus, dude, by himself is a license to print money.
Yeah.
And a lot of it because of Walking Dead. And why would you... But, okay.
Kojima's made of money.
We're going to let this come from Del Toro himself, who basically had the same sentiment. And we're going to go through his quote. We had a great experience and had great story sessions with hundreds upon hundreds of designs. Some of the stuff we were designing for Silent Hills reminded him of what would later be used in The Last of Us, which he basically said, shows they were on the right track. Yeah. Last of Us had great design too.
Right.
He said the thing with Kojima and Silent Hills is that I thought we would do a really, really remarkable game and really go for the jugular. He said we were hoping to actually create...
Don't take Del Toro going for the jugular lightly.
He later went on to say, we were hoping to actually create some sort of panic with some of the devices we were talking about, and it really is a shame that it's not happening. When you ask about how things operate, that makes no fucking sense at all that game is not happening. It makes no fucking sense at all.
That was a verbatim quote.
I have never heard Del Toro cuss in my life. So he was passionate about this being canceled too, which if you've got Reedus and Del Toro and Kojima, I know they had the falling out with Kojima. Why couldn't they have continued it at least without him? It was a license to print money, you said. What the fuck?
We know that that Del Toro gets very passionate about things of his that are canceled because he's still making Pacific Rim 2, goddammit.
Oh, you're trying to cancel my Pacific Rim? Not only am I going to do it, I'm going to bring Arya into it.
Yeah, and he said that... if Kojima's still open to making a game, he'll get back in the video game industry. So, something's going to happen when Kojima comes up, dude, because... Yeah, well, we'll talk more about that in the next story, but...
Kojima's not going away.
No.
He's going to come back in a big way.
Waiting.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to wait until Konami comes back into game making, and then just make a better version of whatever they're making, just to outsell that game. And it would be beautiful. So we've got a couple more video game stories to get to, and this next one we found kind of interesting. So, is the NX the actual title of the new Nintendo thing, or is it just still the rumored working title?
The NX console is still the working title.
So what it means is NX is a much cooler name than what they're actually going to call it.
Yes, like the Revolution became the Wii.
And
I don't know if you knew that was the project name, but it was Revolution.
No idea what the project name for the Wii U was, but I can guarantee you it was better than Wii U.
I guarantee you.
But
it would have sold more consoles.
So this report about the NX actually came out via the Wall Street Journal of all places. It was very odd.
Yes.
But basically, what the gist of the Wall Street Journal article was saying was that they are continuing the success of their handheld market by kind of making a blend between the Wii U and the 3DS, in that it will work as a console, but also fully detach and work as a mobile device. Did you have any more details other than kind of how I summed it up?
No, that's pretty much the gist of it. I really wanted to include this because, again, this is a really neat idea that they're never going to tap into. They'll make it, they'll put it out there, and then they'll be fucking done with it.
And if it does work at all, there won't be any games on it until 3 years after it releases, and by that point, it will already be dead.
Yes.
Which is just what happened with the Wii U. Wii U right now actually has a decent lineup of games, but it was already too late because...
Did you know that the Wii U still doesn't have a Zelda, a Star Fox, or what was the other one me and Phil were talking about the other day?
They did do Donkey Kong.
There's 3 particular games that every Nintendo console has.
Did they ever do Yoshi? Or not Yoshi,
No.
Oh god.
What's
the pink one?
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby.
No,
Did they ever do him?
They have a couple of ones, like Epic Yarn, I think, might be on Wii U. No, there's another iconic character that is on every Nintendo console, and they still don't have.
Metroid. They haven't done Metroid yet.
Yeah, they haven't done Metroid yet, but they go back and forth on Metroid. Best thing they ever did for the Wii was come out with Metroid, though. But yeah, no, they still don't have a Star Fox.
Any of their flagships,
or Zelda.
really.
None of their flagship stuff is out. No.
When did the Wii U come out? Like 2012?
It was the first console to come out of the next gen.
So ridiculous. Like 3 years into it, probably, and they still don't even have a Zelda game. That's unacceptable. Dude,
Zelda
the one I always bring up, how in the world is there not a Pokemon game on the Wii U?
Because it sells the DS.
I think... Well, I don't think it would... How would it hurt their DS numbers when most people have a DS and they don't have a Wii U? It's not like... To me, doing Pokemon on the Wii U isn't hurting their mobile. It's just helping Wii U. Because all those same people who were going to buy Pokemon on 3DS are still going to buy it on the mobile.
If I had a choice, I'd probably buy it on console before I'd buy it on mobile.
But we're also not the regular audience. That's all... Like Japan,
Pokemon is the only use that I have for Nintendo anymore, and they fucked that up for me. So
Japan and China, though, they're all about the mobile. Like,
yeah,
like those people, like the diehards. I think they will go out and buy both color versions of each one.
Now, they did do one that was very similar to the handheld games on GameCube. I'm blanking on the name of it. I haven't played very much of it. Phil really liked it because you play as one of the villains turned hero.
Okay.
Because you steal other people's Pokemon.
That's interesting.
And it's 2-on-2 battles only. And you know how normally you start out with like just a level 5 Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, or they have some starter like that? No. Your starter is like a level 20, 25 Espeon and Umbreon.
Okay.
Which is Eevee evolutions.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, the Dark type and Psychic type. There's not much you can't take down with those two types. So...
I'm still thinking, though, I think that would have done nothing but help the console sales, and that would not have hurt, because I think everyone who buys and is into those Pokemon games is buying all of them, because they've shown that they will by buying both color versions, you know, like every time.
I have pretty much every color version up to black and white, too.
And they're practically the same game other than the Pokemon you get.
Sapphire and Leaf Green are the only ones I never got.
So, yeah, they blow my mind, and it's only a matter of time. 8 to 10 years, they are software only, other than mobile.
Yeah.
I think they will always have, not, the 3DS, but a handheld. But I think this NX, whatever it is, I think it is the last console you can buy.
I think it is, too. I think this is going to be their Dreamcast.
Yeah, so...
I cannot wait, though, Jeff, till the day comes that we get to report on all of the deaths because of Pokemon Go. Children running into the streets after a Mewtwo.
People clawing their way into your house like the Purge because you have a Pokemon in your living room.
Yeah, I cannot wait to report on all the deaths that game causes.
And on that note, we've got one more fun story I wanted to add at the end of it.
Oh, this was fantastic.
So, I'm sure if for whatever reason you were still listening to us an hour into one of our podcasts, you have seen Mad Max Fury Road. And if you have not, again, quit listening to us ramble about nothing and go watch.
It's over.
Go watch Mad Max Fury Road, because it's one of the very best movies of 2015. But, and okay, if you haven't seen it, don't watch it, because it sums up the entire movie, basically.
In like 5 minutes?
In 3 minutes, actually. But if you have, Google 8-bit Mad Max Fury Road, because holy crap, they do a fucking gorgeous job. It made me want to play this game so bad.
I wish this was a thing.
I know, I wish it was an actual thing, but pretty much they took Mad Max Fury Road and kind of did a Cliff Notes version in 8-bit form, and they did such a beautiful job. Like I think my favorite thing is they actually have the Witness Me thing.
Yes.
They have like a little animation for Witness Me, and then he jumps off the thing and blows up in a little 8-bit explosion. Yeah,
it's like Super Saiyan animation for him going chrome.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, they have literally. And we were talking about earlier before we started recording. It actually sums up the whole movie in a few 8-bit action sequences. It's gold.
Yeah, we have it going muted in the background, and we're getting to the Witness scene. I can't wait. Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It makes me want to bust out my Super Nintendo.
Right, yeah. Definitely look this up. And they even have the lightning dust storm thing.
Oh, dude. That was gorgeous in the movie. It's gorgeous in this animation.
Why? Okay, seriously, why aren't these people actually making games? Because this is much better than a lot of the games I actually see come out.
If someone's not trying to get a hold of their contact information right now, then they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
If this was one of those $3 to $5 PlayStation Network games, I'd be
they would make
all over
They
this.
would make a killing off of it.
I could see this on Steam.
Yeah, they it's weird. Like you know they have they have the actual Mad Max like PS4 game you can get.
Yeah,
that was a fully fledged, almost
AAA
title for the current gen. This makes you want to play this much more than that one. if that tells you anything about it. But yeah, definitely seek that out. We are huge Fury Road fans and obviously big fans of old school 8-bit, 16-bit remixes, so check that out. But yeah.
And who knows, you may find out you are too once you see this.
For sure. And there's a big market for that too. Like a lot of Steam is people going back and making like
8-bit.
retro.
Yeah, and there's a lot of iOS and Google Play stuff.
And they're cheap to make too, especially considering like, and it's a lot more profitable if you can make it good like this looks. Like I would, 8-bit Doof Warrior? Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I want to play as the Doof Warrior somehow in a little Mad Max game.
I think the best part that they actually did in this little 8-bit thing though was he has the thing over his face at the beginning of the thing.
Well, all right, guys. If you are still listening to us, we appreciate you putting up with our annoying insight and ramblings for over an hour of your life you'll never get back. We're laughing at more of the Mad Max thing. We do this podcast weekly, but we also have recently started up regular Let's Plays, so you can find those on our channel. Just search Thoroughly Expletives, like and subscribe. We are about to be recording pretty soon tonight our first sequential, which is we are on like part 5 or 6 of Dark Souls. If you're interested in that at all, check that out.
High enough for losing track.
Yeah.
I think it's 5. I think it's your turn.
I thought it was the
5 is my
evens.
turn.
Yeah, so 6 we're on. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We also did a couple Transformers Devastation to show that we will occasionally do modern games if they interest us enough. We did some
check
old
that
school.
out, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was
that
an
game.
awesome
That was
game.
a beautiful game.
Yeah, and coming up in the next week and a half or so, we have a whole series of Halloween-related material going up. We are about to be recording one of them as we close this one up. You can actually check us out further on our social media sites. We have a Twitter at TWBE Podcast and Facebook.com/TWBE Podcasts. We do some, most recent news. We don't do everything just because we don't want to blow up your feed. So we're pretty good about not blowing up your feed if that's something that would, it kind of annoys me when I get, the same news article, like 7 different sources. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can check us out on there. If you did find us via iTunes or Stitcher, leave us a review.
Still don't have one. I checked it today.
I'm going to go on there. It's like, dude, these guys fucking horrible.
Don't self-project in our review, Jeff.
Precisely. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you next time.